Today is what day? Can I say some interaction in the chat box? So
let's have a look.
Today we're doing some practical demonstrations, and we're going to actually treat you as children at some point to immerse you.
Excellent. That's a great idea. So yes, tutors. So let's follow Alice with a super calendar here. So is this the way you would actually start a lesson, Alice?
Yes, I love it. I also did it in the public webinars. It's Thursday. I know you're not excited, but kids love it. Okay, Thursday.
Thursday. Well done, Rosanna. It is Thursday.
Well done. Okay, I don't know where it's Thursday, so I'm just going to stick Wednesday. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I think I lost the flashcard. It happens. It's okay. So yesterday was Wednesday. So yeah, I'm just going to reuse Wednesday. Okay, this is a way for kids to remember practically the days of the week. We'll skip this because I lost my cards. Let's go to the date and the month. Okay, so what date is today?
What date is today, tutors? Come on, tell us. Let's pretend we are all kids here. Let's go back to childhood.
Yes, let's relax.
This is the kind of webinar we're having today.
Exactly.
Yes, jueves. We've also got it in Spanish, and it is the 16th.
Yes, let me show. I have this. Is it this day? What do you say?
Is it, tutors?
No.
no, Sally, you're right. It's not. Tracy, you're right. No.
So today's 16th, but since I don't want to lose extra time, I'm going to put a 15 and do some cheating because I can't find it here.
Usually you would get the right information, of course.
Yes, but today I have, as I said to Delphine, so many props on the table and I don't have extra space to lay it out. Yeah, and let's see. Let's see. Okay, we have a month. The April is again, I think I lost all of them. I'm so sorry, but you get the point. So daily calendar is something really fun. And specifically, don't forget to introduce something connected with weather. So in Serbia, it is very sunny, super sunny, right? And it is hot. What's the weather in your country?
Exactly. So then the children would be answering you, right? Hot, they will be telling you, yes, it's hot. Okay. It's snowing. We've got sunny and chilly. It's sunny and hot. Right. It's raining. Okay. Great.
If you teach a group, don't forget to mention children's names, as Delphine keeps repeating. So let's see. Thank you, Mia. Thank you. Wow, Luis and Christian. Amazing. Thank you for the answers.
Yes, okay. That's a good tip, actually, Alice. They like to feel, individualized. Yes, it's a very good idea. Definitely. Yes. Well done.
Mention their names as much as you can, even if it sounds boring to you. Keep mentioning their names. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to present now, and please let me know if you can see my screen. I will take a look at the chat box.
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much.
See. Definitely.
Okay, great. So. What is the difference between teaching adults and teaching children? Let me see. You're all tutors or teachers, so you probably have the idea. So I would like you to answer in the chat box. What do you think? What is the difference?
Yes, come on, tell us. Give us some ideas. Are you already, are you an experienced tutor as well as teaching children? Perhaps you've already got this experience as well. What's the difference? Yes, look at Tamrin is saying children need more encouragement. Exactly. Yes. What else can we see here? Keeping their attention has to be interactive. Wow, we've got loads of answers.
Yes,
excellent. Children get bored very easily. They need visual aids. Exactly. They tend to get bored easily. Very true. So the attention span.
Yeah, you are amazing.
Good answers. More breaks, David is saying. Yes, that's
very
a good one.
Very good.
Fun, of course. Yes.
Exactly what we said. So first of all, the biggest difference is that the communication also involves the parents. So when you are teaching a child, you also need to have a very good relationship with parents, and bear in mind that parent is the person who is going to do the booking. So you really need to be open. Just be yourself. That's biggest. The most important thing, be yourself and be relaxed. This is what parents want to see, the real you. As we said, short attention span, this is a big problem. So please, when you teach kids, if you have a class which lasts for 1 hour, please make every activity last only 5 minutes, because they're just going to stop listening to you. If the child gets up, and runs to the other room, you can just as well cancel the class. It's very hard to bring the child back. It's practically impossible. So short activities. As Delphine said, they're very easily distracted, and we have this problem. Not willing, not their choice. I really like this. This is the part that Delphine added. And this means that sometimes children are going to be forced to take classes by parents. So when we do this, we really need to motivate them. We really need to go the extra mile and have a lot of fun with them to make it actually likable. It happens. So yes.
Absolutely. Do you find this kind of situation quite often with your students, Alice?
No, my students love learning English. I've had this problem in an old company where I worked, but I taught mostly Japanese students, and I think this is because of their educational system. They're very result oriented. So I had children crying in my class in this company.
Okay, all right. So actually, Felix, you're telling us that you had one student like that who perhaps when, it wasn't their choice, they didn't want to really learn, but it's, and then I think it's a little bit harder, but it's a bit more of a challenge as well because kids are challenging. So that adds to the challenge. Brilliant. Thanks for your answer. Yeah.
If this happens, change whatever you're doing, stop it and start something else. Start a game, give a task to a child, ask the child what the child wants to do, and then explain to the parent that you really need to work a little bit more individualized, that you cannot follow textbook or whatever the parent gave you, because usually the parents then send you something, and try to include the parent. So try to include the parent. But this is something that we're going to discuss in the end of the class, not class, webinar.
Yes.
Sorry, lapsus lingua. Okay. Last but not least, you need to adopt different techniques and teaching styles. This means that even if we teach children, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need to remodel our classroom a little bit and maybe try to embrace the child inside of us. So be more relaxed, smile more, move more. It's not a business class. Definitely, you need to act differently. So this is
sure. Yes, actually, tutors, had you thought about that? If you are new to tutoring kids, had you thought that your body language would need to be different, that you'd need to be acting a little bit more? I mean, I know you're going to tell us a lot more about that, so there's more to come. But, come and tell us, tutors. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Yeah.
Also, Delphine, I don't see the chat box. It's not working on my side, but...
Okay, not to worry. I'm managing it. Yes, thanks for telling me.
Great. Okay. To start off, motivating children with engaging activities. What is engaging to adults may not be engaging to children, and vice versa. So, as we said, lots of movement. Even you, when you talk, you have to move a lot. You have to just smile and change your face expressions a lot. So movement in your body and changing your face expressions, right? Also, as we said, changing the activities quickly. And the most important part that actually works for me when I have issues with motivation is connecting the activities with their life. I'm going to show you some examples, and I'm going to exit this presentation. I'm sorry. So just a moment. I have to stop sharing, actually. I'm really sorry. Because
that's okay. I can actually manage to chat for now. We've got some really good answers. We've got Arianka that's saying that yes, she found herself making more mimics, role plays, playing with pencils like dolls in order to catch the kids' attention. Definitely, everything you can to make the lesson interactive really and engaging. And Louise, you're saying you found some physical warm-ups so useful, like yoga and dancing. Yes, Dylan, especially when they need stretching.
Definitely. We're going to talk about it later. Yeah. We're going to talk about it later.
Some good ideas there. Yes.
Very good. So one of the things that we are using are these kind of flashcards, and I'm so sorry because I forgot to blur the child's name. I will inform the parent later, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay, I'm just going to move it. So this girl had a very big problem remembering clothes, and we studied clothes I think 10 times in 10 classes. So I started making individualized flashcards. So I made her wear everything, and then I just put dots. For example, here, this is another student, again a girl, and she has a collection of bows and she cannot remember the materials. So let's use your picture, make a flashcard. It's so individual, and you're definitely going to remember. So one of the things that is very motivating is to actually get closer to the child, include the child visually, not only via communication. This always worked very good in my classroom.
Oh, that's a really good tip. Very, very good tip. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Sharing certificates and digital badges. I do this with adults as well, because I teach in an adult center outside of Preply, and I've taught about 200 students there so far. And adults like badges. I like badges. So, for example, here is a badge called Experienced Singer. You can Google it, and you can even use Paint to make a badge. And another thing is a certificate. So I'm sorry for my super messy, super messy.
Busy screen.
Busy screen. Yeah. This is how you call it. Okay, very good. So here is a video certificate that I made for my student Anya, because she had a big problem with present simple. She hates it. She really, really hates it. But she likes unicorns and she likes certificates. So it's very easy to make a certificate. You can go and use Canva. And as I said, you can even use Paint. You don't have to be a very high-tech or tech-savvy teacher, but it's important that you give this kind of presence to your child. Your student, not child, I'm sorry.
Exactly. No, that's great. We've got a great question from Sally. You know, what you were talking about earlier. Sally's asking, do you ask them to send you a photo, or do you just take a screenshot during the lesson?
Take a screenshot, or for example, the first photo was taken by her mom. The mom participated. I called her mom and I said, I'm going to try something. Can you take photos of your daughter and send it to me? And then I just made a flashcards. So it depends. What do you want to do? Sometimes, for example, if the child you're teaching has a problem in remembering things in the kitchen, then ask the parents to take a photo, but assure them it's going to be private. You're not going to share it anywhere. It's pretty normal.
Exactly. And we've got another question from Adam. Are sporting trophies okay? You know, like what you were showing a badge, you know, like, yes, it would be okay. I think so. Of course. Yes. Any ideas? Anything related to the child's
life.
Likes. Life and likes. Exactly.
Yes, whatever they like. So some kids even like creating books. I created a cookbook with another student, and this is the way we practice writing, and he likes exotic food. So how can you make a child practice writing? It's very hard. But if you take a topic that he or she likes, then this is a very good idea. Last but not least, letting them select the last activity. So I don't know what you're doing, but I often let children select activities from a pool of activities I have, because I can see on their face they're tired. Maybe they had a bad lunch. It happens. So, you know, they also have issues just like we do. So this is one of the examples I actually use in my offline classroom, but I'm just going to show you anyway. So here is it. This is a part of my storytelling program, and this is a book registry. So for example, in the end of every storytelling workshop I have with them, I let them select a book. So they can actually click here, they can see what's happening in the book, and they select the book for the next time. Again, it doesn't have to be a very tech savvy. You don't have to design a lot. I like designing, I love it. But it can even be a list of things in Google Docs. So just let the child select what is going to happen next. This is the way.
That's fantastic. And yes, I mean, let's just reassure our tutors here. Exactly. I mean, Alice, you love creating, like a lot of our tutors do, of course, and you're very good at it. But like you were just saying, it can be a list, on a Google Doc. But obviously, if you're going to teach kids, try to increase your creative skills as well, And exactly, and this is the kind of thing that you can also ask through the community on Facebook. There'll be other tutors who'll be able to help. And Alice, you're one of the tutors there. So
thank you. Yes, you can use these little boards to write. Even that is a good idea. The child is going to look at what you're doing, and it's moving. Yes. So whatever you do, as Delphine said, you don't have to be a designer. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to give a choice, some kind of a choice to your student.
Yes, Anneke is asking if you can perhaps suggest any websites. I know you've got some, that's later, right? That's later in the presentation, yeah?
Yes, you're going to get a lot of links. Yes. A lot of links to check. Now, TPR. So TPR is total physical response. I'm not going to bother you with the teaching theory. We're just going to go to the practical things. So it basically means that you're using your body to learn something. You should start easily, add more steps. The most important thing is to get up and do the activity with the child. Okay, this is something super important because a lot of tutors sit and they don't do anything. Now I cannot get up because I am in the attic, so I don't actually have a physical space to get up here. But I really want to motivate you to get up and don't be ashamed and just do the activity with the child. One of the activities that I love doing, as someone said, is yoga. And I even invite other siblings. For example, I do this with a girl, and I invite her younger sibling, who is a little a little devil, to join us. A little monster, yes, join us and walk through the jungle with us. Let's go and let's see how does it look like. You should only share your screen. Okay, share the sound. Don't forget to share the sound on your computer. Let me try and do it now. I have so many things open and I'm not even sure. Yes, share computer sound. No, this is not that one. I'm so sorry. Walking through the jungle. Let's take a look at it. If you want, we can even do a few parts together. Urge you not to do any explicit grammar teaching because it's not developmentally appropriate. Children who teach English as a foreign language start learning explicit grammar really early, and they don't speak at all. And all of the research show that structure drilling and explicit grammar is not good, and it doesn't actually help. It doesn't actually help language acquisition. So what should we do? We should not just do worksheets and explicit grammar teaching all the time. We should try to do grammar through conversation. How is that done? For example, again, last week, the same student who really doesn't like using past tense and irregular verbs, as it says here, we created a collection of her and my photos of old hairstyles. The collection was insane. There were so many different hairstyles. We compared them. We even voted and we practiced past tense. So we talked about our hairstyle from the past and we included the whole family, and they also told us what I think, which one is the best. And we did all of this in the past. My student didn't even notice how the number of past tense verbs she actually used, and she actually learned something. While on the other hand, when I just if she just sat in front of the computer, she wouldn't learn anything. So this is why I am saying no explicit grammar teaching before the age of 10. If you want to use worksheets, please be careful. If you're not experienced a curriculum developer, and probably a lot of teachers aren't, I suggest that you use worksheets which are already made by an established institution. So what can you do? If you find a worksheet in a book, textbook, if you scan it and share, try to use something like live worksheets. What are live worksheets? Let's click on them and let's see. So live worksheet looks like this. It is a worksheet. For example, this one is combined with a video and it's created via website, so it's not teacher made. And here you can click. So it's interactive. It's not a real worksheet. You don't have to write. You can give, if you're using Zoom, you can give the student the control of your screen and the student can actually fill it. And then you click finish and check. Basically, you can upload any kind of paper here and make it interactive. It takes 5 steps to do it. So if you're interested, try to use live worksheets. We're going to send you the presentation, so don't worry. Last but not least, try to use index cards from British Council Kids. British Council Kids has a very good approach to teaching grammar. Why? Because it has games, as you can see, interactive games here, and then another interactive practice. Okay. What I like here is that you also have worksheets. You can download them and test. And another great thing is this index reference card. What is it? It is a little card they can print and glue, and they can write their own examples. So actually you're going to make them cut it, glue it, write their own examples. And even though this is explicit grammar teaching, it is still individualized because they write their own sentences. And my students liked doing this and they still like it. So this is another suggestion if you really need to use worksheets.
Well, we've got a question from Jacob. Are the games on British Council good for group classes? What do you think? Would that be okay?
It doesn't matter. If they can be used in group classes, but you're going to have to rely on the chat box. So just like we are doing today.
Okay, and we also had another question when you talked about grammar, and yes, and we had a tutor that's saying my student is 7, but is asking to start learning about grammar. So what could the tutor do then, and what would you recommend? What would you do?
You can learn grammar. As I said, we learned grammar. We had a 45-minute lesson speaking in the past tense, and it was amazing. So you can learn grammar, but it should not be explicit. Try not to just use worksheets and just go from top to bottom and finish. So this is my point. You are learning grammar, but not explicitly. You're learning grammar implicitly. So it means that the grammar is learned in context. It is not learned by reading and drilling and reading explanations, because a child doesn't even know grammar in its own language. So a child who is 7 years old is not going to know a past simple to explain how is past simple built in its native language.
Yes, you're completely right. It's within the context, and really that's the best way for them to remember it and to practice it. Anneke is actually saying that the liveworksheet.com is not accessible. Would you know why that is not working?
It is accessible to everyone. I don't know. Maybe you mistyped it.
Okay, let's
maybe
see.
Maybe she mistyped it. I can send a link in the chat box as soon as I can try to. Here it is.
Yeah, you should. Can you see? Yeah.
Yeah, but I cannot enter the. Okay, here it is. So try. Yes, and someone says implicit grammar is good for any ages and level. Yes, of course, but
yes,
it is most crucial when you teach little ones. Okay, I send it to you. I hope you can open. So copy the link and then paste it. It's not clickable. Okay, now we're going to continue, and we're going to see some theory, which is super, it is in a very small parts, in chunks. Sorry, I'm a little excited, so I talk too fast, make mistakes. Okay, so what is important when it comes to story and song selection? So please think about the content of your lesson. Think about learners' level of language proficiency. You cannot just select a random song. You really need to follow these questions. So you're going to pose a question to yourself. Is this song connected to the language, to the lesson content? Is this song compatible with my students' level of language proficiency? Yes, check. Is it attractive in melody and rhythm? Is it nice to sing it? Is it too complicated? I don't think a little child can create so many different melodies. Not, you have to think about that as well. Is it adaptable to dramatization and TPR? Can you clap? Can you dance? If not, then what's the point? Is it repetitive? Does the text repeat a lot? Does the rhythm repeat? Does the melody repeat? I know that we have a lot of tutors here, and I'm talking this from a position as a professional teacher. So for me, it's not very hard, but you need to think about the melody itself, because when it comes to musical development, kids just sometimes cannot repeat what you're singing. It happens if they're very young. Finally, it has to be engaging and motivating. So it has to be fun. Yes. If it doesn't work, if you select a song which is not suitable for a class, this is what happens. All of your notes get crazy, and it's just, you're not going to achieve anything. The students usually sit and don't move. So this is what you want to avoid, right?
Yes, exactly. Great. And we've got Anneke that's saying, yes, clapping and dancing. Yes, it's everything. So important, because it will be a really good way for them to retain the language as well, through the actions, through the singing, through the dancing. So some excellent tips there, Alice. Really good. Thank you.
Now I'm going to actually show you some scaffolding, effective scaffolding. What is scaffolding? Imagine scaffolds as ladders. So you're climbing up. You have to start from the bottom and get to the top. And actually, I even have a reference here, because everything that I am sharing comes from research. So it's not only tips from my classroom, it's actually research based. Okay, so first, what you have to do is introduce the song. Okay, let me introduce the song we're going to do today. So teachers, if you want to eat, how do you feel? If you want to eat, how do you feel? What's the feeling that you have?
Claire's got it, I think. Yes, definitely. Okay. Lydia, Jeanne.
Yes, and what's the word that we use when we want to eat something very much, so badly? We are what?
we've got hungry here. Is that what you're?
Hungry,
no, we've got.
this is what I want. Yes. The next step in scaffolding is reviewing old vocabulary. So you're probably going to show flashcards, but today, since I don't have extra flashcards, we're just going to skip this part because you know how most foods look like. But don't forget to review old vocabulary. Then pre-teaching. Pre-teaching is the most important part of storytelling, dramatization, doing anything. So first, before you start teaching the song, the kids need to know every single word in that song. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some flashcards, and I'm going to show you, we're going to start learning line by line. Why? Because I don't need to pre-teach this with you. We're just going to go straight to the point. Now, I'm going to show you some flashcards, and I want you to listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. And show these functions, the normal vocabulary for the classroom. We call it functional classroom language. Show it with your hands. So
Good
listen,
idea. Good idea.
repeat.
Listen, repeat. Yes.
Okay, now let's do it. First of all, listen and repeat. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Yes, I am.
And here
yes,
they would repeat.
am.
They would repeat, right? Okay.
Okay. And then we continue with a song. Okay, let me see. Grapes. Grapes. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, so these are super, no, this is not it. Super simple steps. Now we're actually going to sing it, okay? And we're going to do it line by line. Listen to the song, okay? And let's see. And I'm also going to show. Okay, to make it more fun for tutors today, I'm going to actually play it. Can you hear?
Whoa.
Okay, yes. So this is something that I would actually do in the classroom, but of course you don't have to be a musician to teach kids. I just want to make you feel relaxed and have fun today with us. Okay, so you remember the lyrics. Let's do it together. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Okay, so Delphine, you're going to be You're going to be a child. You're going to be a child and repeat after me. Okay, so you're my test subject. Are you hungry?
Are you hungry? I'll sing.
Yes, good.
Put me on the spot. Yes, I am.
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry?
Yes, I am. A banana. Yum, 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 yum.
Yum, yum, yum.
Ready, Delphine?
Excellent. Yum, yum.
So it actually becomes it becomes higher. So this is one of the things you should do when you sing. You don't have to use instruments. I just love it. But what you should do is introduce games when you're teaching someone to sing. For example, listen and repeat. Listen and do. Listen and shout, right? Tempo. So, are you hungry? Students love it. So slow down, speed up. Another thing you're doing here is actually teaching them phonics, and you're actually teaching them to pronounce well when they speed up and slow down. Personalize. Use words like children's like she knows like her name. Sorry, I don't see very well. So for example, are you hungry, Delphine?
Are you hungry?
Yes, I am. Your name and you just light up. You're happy. See, even you're happy. Okay, yes. Volume. Yeah, this is what I did in the webinar yesterday. I actually shouted and I was very silent. So, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry?
Yeah. Are you hungry? Are you hungry?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes,
so if you
I
want to
get
see,
it.
yes, if you see me doing this, you can go to the webinar. Now, the last one is a little bit complicated, so let's just skip it. We have enough things here today. Yes. So if you are not a player, you don't play any instruments, if you want to make it more fun, use anything to make a rhythmic orchestra. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah.
Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes, you can even switch sides. It's a very effective TPR. Yeah. Okay. So, do we have some questions in the chat box? How do we feel? Do we feel motivated?
I don't know if they feel hungry, but they feel really happy. Yeah, lots of good ideas. Kylie is saying she loves it. She's going to use it for her next class.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Kia is so happy. She's saying that, very impressed and met them the same. Lots and lots of people. Amazing as well. Excellent. Yes.
That was my goal. Okay. Now, since we sang a little, I can move this because it bothers me. I don't have any space left. No, I can't move it. I have too many cables. Sorry. I'm just going to leave it here and continue. So the most important thing is be yourself and be natural. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. It's not going to be perfect. Okay. Now, dramatization. What I do is have a puppet who is my sidekick. What is a sidekick? So I use this puppet. I used to use it. I don't use it anymore because I have students who actually grew up with me. So they don't need puppets anymore. And it's a little sad, but I used to use it. So a sidekick is a puppet that has its own character, its own personality. So it's not a random puppet. It's a puppet you use as your friend. So this is Sally. Sally is a puppet I've had since preschool. I actually used this to play in the preschool play when I was a child.
Wow,
and Sally, Sally is a very good squirrel. Sally likes to eat ice cream. And I think, what was Sally's job? I think Sally was a cook. I completely forgot. So Sally had her own personality. And when I talked with my students with Sally, I just disappear and let Sally do the talking. So don't forget to move away from the screen, because the children are just going to look at your face. So
that's a great tip. Yes, excellent.
If you use puppets, just move from the screen. Scream. Okay.
And how do the kids react then with the puppet? Do they like it? What's their feedback?
Sometimes they're shocked. Younger kids like it. Kids older than 7 or 8 usually feel that you're in a way insulting them by using a puppet. So be careful. You need to see what is actually the character of your child. Is your child more mature? Is your child less mature? Your child. I keep talking child. I'm so sorry. I know it's a student, but as I said, I have a very great connection with my students. I just call them children. So
well, you're doing the right thing. Exactly.
Yes, I just call them child. Okay. Have a puppet for every story you will dramatize. Now, this is where my tons of my props come, and I want to show you different kinds of puppets you can make. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Alice, we've got questions here. Can tutors use puppets with children who are about 7? What do you think that's a good age? 7 or
ask them? Try and look at their face reaction. If they like it, they're going to tell you. If they don't like it, they're going to look and act awkward. For example, one of my students who is a bit more matured, when she saw a puppet, she was like, So you need to monitor their face. Yeah. There is no exact rule, but younger children love it. So what can you do?
Anneke is talking about finger puppets. Yeah.
Finger puppets. Yeah, there are tons of kinds of puppets. In the end of the presentation, I'm going to leave you a link with my collection of printable puppets on Pinterest, so you can actually go and download. Now I'm going to show you different kinds of DIY puppets that I have. For example, these are for Halloween. See, these are 2 finger puppets, and you can make them so easily. Very, very easily. I draw this myself. So basically, you can do it now when you're isolated. While you're isolated, you don't have to print anything. Another easy way to make a doll.
Ingrid would like to see them again. It was a little bit too quick. The ones before.
Toilet paper. We know everybody bought it. Everybody bought it. So Let's reuse it now. Okay. So another way to make a puppet.
Just a minute, Alice. I think you need to share your screen again.
Oh,
is that right, tutors?
Oh my God. Okay.
Let us know, tutors. Are you only seeing Alice, or can you also see the presentation? Sometimes this happens. You can see both. Oh, can see
I'm
both.
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. You can buy, okay, someone wanted to see the puppets, finger puppets again. As I said, I'm going to leave you a link for my Pinterest a board where I collected tons of these. So you can actually cut it, make it by yourself. See, this one is not printed. So you need to be a little crafty. So
they actually,
I'm showing.
sorry, Alice. Tutors are saying they can only see the presentation, they can't see you. So here, tutors, you need to have a look yourself on your screen. Perhaps you've minimized the screen. You need to have a look to maximize the screen so you're able to see Alice when she talks, and you can see me when I talk. You can see everybody, Alison.
Yeah,
yes,
I can see you. Yes.
Because you're on your phone, Carolina. Okay, yeah. Usually you should be able to see both. Yes, on the desktop you can see everything. But you'll have the recording, students. Oh, students.
Yes.
Tutors.
Yes, you will have the recording, so relax. Okay. Yes, practice speaking at different volumes and tempos. So you cannot speak the same for all the three piggies. You cannot speak the same. So maybe this pig is going to be, so maybe you really need to practice changing your voice, volume, and tempo, and do it, because if you don't do it, your dramatizing is going to fail. I know it sounds pretty harsh, but the basics of dramatizing focuses on changing your sound, your voice, not sound. Sorry. So as I said, I will leave the link. Also, what I wanted to give you a DIY idea. Yeah, I have a plush here. Sorry, this is my demon cat. I love it. So if you have some kind of old plushie, something that you're not playing with because you're adult, yes, you can just cut the bottom. I had one, but I lost it. Cut the bottom, and when you cut the bottom of this plush, you can put your hand inside and you can actually move it. So you're gonna get an instant puppet from an old toy that is just collecting dust. This is another.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So yes, you get one of your old teddies, you cut the bottom or the back, and then you can then hold it, put your hand inside, and you can use it as a puppet. Lots of good ideas. And sorry for the tutors who can't see the screen if you're on your phone or but you'll have the recording, so you'll be able to look at it again on your computer, and you'll see the amazing props that Alice is showing us.
Someone actually also said something about finger puppets. Yes, I have those as well, and I ordered them from AliExpress. And there were about a few dollars. So when this is finished, this whole terrible situation, you can order them online for very little money. Yes, but now I'm showing you some DIY solutions. Now, storytelling, pretty much similar as the checklist, is very close to selecting a song. Select the language of appropriate story. Pre-teach the vocabulary. Okay. Listening tests to children are something that you are going to give them while they listen to you. You're not reading the book. You're dramatizing. You are talking to kids. You're going to ask them questions while you dramatize. So please, no reading. Dramatization and storytelling is not the same as reading a book. Before we start, I'm going to show you something that I made. We're going to also do some dramatizing. Oh, we have time. Amazing. So we're going to do some dramatizing with class 2 at the zoo. Of course, if you don't have books, and probably if you're not a professional teacher, you will not have a reason to collect these as I do. So you can go to many websites which offer free books. They're not going to be books by a famous author because they are copyrighted, but there are websites where you can download download PDFs. And I will share some, I forgot to share. I have to edit the presentation. Yes, okay. So let's do some pre-teaching. Let's start. Okay, I didn't finish a few slides. So click, listen, and repeat. Click. What is this? Elephant?
Elephant.
Yes. Koala?
Koala.
Yes, definitely. So name these activities. It's half Serbian, half English because I made it for kids in Serbia. And then for activities, I use GIFs. For example, the first one, gulp. How can you show gulp? It's very easy with a GIF, so try to use them. as much as you can. Of course, as I said, you don't have to be tech savvy. You can just open GIFs and scroll, just open an image like this, and then open another one. So you don't have to design anything. As I said, I love it. And I love this website because I work with them. So I use it. Now, I will go to the next part to show you other ways to, other things you have to do with storytelling. So you need to be sure that the kids know the vocabulary. Okay, so let's see what I made. This is a rhino. Let's collect it. At this point, I'm going to give the screen to the child that I'm teaching, and this child is going to do this. I'm just going to sit and watch. Okay, so Delphine, do you want me to give you the control of my computer?
So much. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the chat. What do I need to do? I'm getting nervous now.
Yes. Okay, I will give you the control of my screen. So now let's be animals. Name the animal. Okay, for this, as I said, try to make a cube. Okay, for example, what I use with kids is this. I don't know, I spin it and I stop. What is this animal? Can you tell me?
Elephant. It's an elephant.
Let's move like the elephant. Does the elephant move? That's tricky. Maybe. I'm not really sure, honestly. Okay, so acting as animals or characters from the book. So now we are basically preparing and reminding ourselves about the characters in the book. Okay, now another thing that I made, for example, click to spin. You can use this, and it's called spin the wheel.
Yes, spin the wheel. Yeah,
spin the wheel, and you can give it to kids to spin and do something like this animal. Tiger, rawr. You're also practicing their palate, you're practicing pronunciation, you're practicing phonics and all of the things together. Okay, to finish off our preparation, where do I live in your country? So for example, zoo, hippo, where's the hippo? Yes, hippo is in the zoo. Then we have a rooster here, a cow. So basically, as I said, again, you don't have to make all of this, but you should try. If you're teaching online, you should definitely educate yourself about technology and education. You can only share your screen. You can use the scanned papers, but you're not going to motivate your child as much as you would if something is interactive. If you're a beginner, just Google. For example, educational game, wild animals, educational game, zoo. Google, and you will find something that somebody made. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be usable. So try to, as I said, try to educate yourself a little bit about which apps can you use to create content. And if you want to use this one that I use, this is Genially, and you also have the link in the presentation. You will be able to open my link, and you can make your own. You can make your own presentation very easily. It's not hard at all.
So our tutors, Alice, are actually asking, because like you gave control to me for this, you know, to the screen, which again, I'm not that tech savvy either. So
okay.
Yeah.
This is
so that's in Zoom, right? Because in Practice Space, you can't do that. It's probably something we'll look into in the future, but on Zoom, okay.
I know that we are doing a webinar on Preply, but for teaching children, Zoom is much better. It's way more interactive because they can write on your screen as well. So we need extra interactivity for kids. This is something maybe Preply can work with. So remote control, if you have a mute button, stop video, participants, share, annotate, and then remote control. Now I'm going to give the mouse to the mouse that you are okay. Move.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So I click now, right? I click on the pig.
Yes, I do it with kids all the time. Yes. Now Delphine is moving. See, my hands are here. I'm not touching my screen. Yeah, this is a very, very, very important feature in Zoom.
Yeah. Sally's asking about Skype now. Any idea? Don't know.
I don't like it. It is not good. It often fails. It crashes. Bad connection. If your parents want to use it, do some persuade them a little bit, because for children, Zoom is definitely the best thing that you can use at the moment. Okay. And you also have in Zoom, Delphine probably has webinars about it. In Zoom, you also have whiteboards. you have an integrated whiteboard inside Zoom. So for example, you can write, for example, here, I'm drawing on the screen now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and I can also type. Okay, let me see. I can also type. I just want to show you the whiteboard. I have to reshare again. I will share again. So you have an integrated whiteboard. It means it's there. Where is it? Oh, there is no whiteboard in the webinar. Not in this mode.
Webinar. No, it's because it's when you have not in the webinar mode. Yes. Exactly.
Someone asked.
I think Tutors is, of course, very good idea to make it all interactive. Yes. It's excellent and it's a must. But if you're very, very new to creativity, start slowly, right?
Start slowly. Search. Yeah. So search, educate yourself, select one app that is used for building interactive content and study it, practice, you will get better. So 2 tasks, search the content that is already there, okay? And select one app. I suggest you can use Genially, you can use Prezi, but it's a little bit older than Genially. You can even use PowerPoint. If you go to a website called Slides Carnival or Slide Mania, Slides Carnival, can you write it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll write it.
Slides Carnival and Slides
Carnival.
And Slides Media. In these 2 websites, you have tons of very modern PowerPoint designs for free. So you can use it to make a fun lesson with these PowerPoints. You don't have to use very advanced tools. But if you want it, I suggest, and I will send you a link. Try to use it. It is really, really fun, and there are so many apps.
Yeah, and Mariana, you're making a good point here, especially at the moment, that some parents are insisting to use Preply Space for different reasons, because at the moment Zoom is getting a bad press and things. So perhaps don't worry about the interactivity for now in that way. Have more interactivity with like your body language, your puppets. This kind of thing.
Yes. Zoom introduced the new feature where you can actually you can put a password, so it's much more safer now. And if parents insist, this is parents' decision. You cannot do anything about it. So as Delphine said, use other ways of interactivity. But digital interactivity and moving things on your screen is something that kids love. Ultimately,
exactly. And Dunya, you're asking about resources in Spanish. I know here we're looking at resources for children who want to learn English. I'm sure you can find some. There's everything on the internet. Somebody mentioned YouTube earlier for like videos and perhaps even like stories or this kind of thing. So yes, do have a look.
Yes.
But then to make your own presentations, you can use the same websites, right?
Yes, definitely. Doesn't matter. So let's go and let's dramatize a page or 2 to see how you ask questions and how to avoid just reading. And then we're going to do post-dramatizing activities. For example, story sequencing. Maybe something like that. Okay, let's read it, shall we? The anaconda sighed and opened one eye to spy the class 2 as they walked around the zoo. Can you remember, what did the anaconda do?
Opened its eye.
Opened its eye. And what's the word for that? Sigh. Yeah. They saw hippos hopping in the mud. So let's do some hopping in the mud. Yes. And then they saw monkeys eating chocolate pud. Yes. So what is the monkey eating? Chocolate?
Chocolate.
Mud? It rhymes with mud. And the word is?
Pud.
Pud. Yes, very good. So try to rhyme and try to ask questions. And if you have books, please keep them safe because I just ruined this one. I'm sorry. So after you stop reading, give some homework to your students. For example, draw your own ending. This is something that kids love. Invent your own ending and use your own ending to give a story next time. I think I have. Sorry, just give me a moment. I actually have some drawing. My class where
Alice is very busy. She's got so many props and the piano. I didn't expect that. The keyboard.
It was amazing because, for example, for the anaconda, we had a Sonic who came and beat the anaconda. How amazing is that? And when they finish, let the parents take a picture, do whatever. Basically, it depends on the depends on so many things. It depends on what props do you have, what do you like to use. As I said, when you teach with a PDF, it's even a little bit easier because it's on the screen. Yes, I like to use the books that I have, but for example, with my books, I cannot find rhyming words. For example, I asked Delphine, mud rhymes with pud. So give them a task to find rhyming words. Give them a task to find all the words that represent action. Let them scroll to the PDF on your screen and just sit back and watch them. So you need to switch from the teaching to observing. This is something that kids love it. Something that children love.
We have a question here. I don't know if you can see it in the chat from Karina. You're saying that what do you suggest for teachers who are a little bit more introverted and who easily get exhausted, especially in TPR lessons? So yes, any suggestions so you can avoid any teacher burnout? Because it's true that if you have back-to-back classes with kids, it could be quite tiring. What would you do to sometimes relax a little bit but still keep that momentum going? That's a good question.
Close your calendar. Money is not important. No, money is not important. You cannot teach back-to-back child classes. I'm sorry. I know that we are all pushing each other because of money or different kind of things, but please do not do this to yourself. The quality of your class is going to decline. You cannot teach back-to-back child classes with kids.
And would you say that TPR, so again, to go back to the question, TPR, is this a must in lessons with kids?
Nothing is a must, as I said. No. So definitely, if when it comes to research, definitely is a must. TPR, storytelling, and music, all of these things together are a must. And contextual grammar teaching. So basically, everything I presented here would be a part of a curriculum that you can actually teach even in a real school. So everything is a must, because without the TPR, your kids are not going to sit for 60 minutes without moving.
True. It's true. Let's think about what we said at the beginning, right? It's about keeping their attention span, keeping them learning, and they have to be moving, right? So if the tutor is moving, they'll be moving. If you
don't, I mean, of course, not every teacher is, as you said, extroverted. Someone is introverted. Use puppets as much as you can. Puppets are going to help you. You don't have to show your face. You can even use this one. I wanted to show you. So this is a ruined puppet of me because my son did this, but I actually have a puppet of myself. I know this sounds really weird, but kids love this, and you can even relax. If you're tired, you have a headache, you can move from the computer, show a puppet of yourself, and
that's excellent. That is actually a good tip, right? Yes, you
but
could definitely.
Keep it safe. It can't look like this. This is scary. I just wanted to show you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad you like the idea, Karina, because that was a good question. Yes, well done.
If you don't want to do a lot of TPR, make the children do it. But when you do it for the first time, do it with the kids. After that, you can even make some props, for example, like cool, amazing, try again, and show cards while they do it. So you don't have to jump all the time. Even I don't do that. Okay. Let's finish up. And as we said, be polite to parents, communicate a lot. Try to have the parents in the class with the child, and try to collaborate with the parents. So basically, parents should be your teacher assistant. Okay. Parents sometimes, I'm not sure what to tell you about this, because it says here, tell parents politely when their expectations are set too high. I've never had parents like this. So it all depends how you approach them at the beginning. If you approach them very openly, honestly, and politely, they're not going to have their expectations set too high. If they do, be realistic. You say, okay, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you, as someone with experience, as someone who studied this and that research, you can even try to read some research. It would be good for you. I can tell you that this is not developmentally appropriate. So the child of a level such as this should not do this and that. So try to explain it from the academic part of view, because this is a way to explain to the parents that ultimately they are not teachers and they cannot force content on their kids like that. So try to explain it, by using the academic background. This works the best. Even if you don't have the academic background, just say it like you do.
Yes.
Cheat a little bit, it's okay.
And we've got a good question from Luis about the time or how long the session should be. Luis is saying some parents ask for 30 minutes for their children. So is it okay to accept 30 minutes or should he push for 60 minutes? What do you think?
Don't push anything. Children age 7 start school and they have classes which are 45 minutes long. You can push for 45, but no more than that. I have 60 minutes with some children, but as I said, I've had these children for such a long time and we are so used to each other, and then we have a completely different schedule. But children who are younger than 6 should not do anything, I don't know, more than 30 minutes is not good. Even as I said, even the research shows this, and in preschool, because I am ultimately a preschool teacher, activities even last for 25 minutes.
Yeah, right. So what we'll do, we've got a question, but we can do that at the end about, older kids. I mean, we know that young learners is from 6 to 11. So kids who are perhaps between 10 and 11. Maybe you want to take that question now, or what do you think?
What do you mean when it comes to kids between 10 and 11? 45 minutes. 45 minutes.
Yes,
exactly like in a school.
45 minutes for the time, but here I think our tutors meant about the activities. Should you include all this dramatization, all this? I mean, what would you?
You can take the dramatization to a higher level. For example, with other students, I don't know, I have a boy who likes gaming, and I don't know, we actually even played games together. So dramatization can develop into something completely different. So dramatization develops into role play.
Yeah, okay. Into role plays. That's a good plays. Yes, for kids who are a little bit older, put them into situations that, maybe their everyday situation at school, in their lives, or even like something they could imagine, I suppose.
Yes.
As well,
Move from these little books and use videos. For example, if they like to watch films or TV shows, you can actually do storytelling from videos.
Yeah, exactly. Just Coraline didn't catch the beginning of what you said when we talked about the parents. Should they be in the room? Is this a good idea for the parents to be in the room? You said they should be your teacher's assistant. Yeah, they should be your assistant.
It depends. Sometimes it's impossible to do a lesson without a parent, but I honestly teach all of my classes without parents because, or even if the parents are there, I have very strict rules for them. They were not happy in the beginning, but they started listening to me. You cannot correct your child. No correction. No correction.
Yes.
Please don't stop. For example, there was a boy and who talked very fast. He was very advanced, but he still made a lot of mistakes. His father kept cutting him in the middle of the sentence. I had to ask the father multiple times, please do not cut your child in the middle of the sentence. You're not giving him a chance to speak. You need to set hard rules. Even if they're paying you, they need to understand that you are teaching, that this is a teaching moment, and that they should be silent observers. Help only if needed. Help?
Yes, so exactly. So very good point. So here, Coraline and the other tutors, really, if the parent wants to be in the room at the beginning, when the child is a bit younger, perhaps even to do with the technology, right? Then use them as your assistant, but set some ground rules.
Okay? Set some ground rules. Forbid the translation. I also had a very big problem with that. Do not translate to a child. Yes. The child knows much better. The child's level of English became so much better when you exited the room because there was no one to translate. So no translating and no explicit error correction. So don't say, no, that's not good. You can say, yes, but let's say it, and then repeat the correct sentence. Don't let them correct and don't let them translate. These are the biggest problems that I had.
Yes, another tutor mentioned that sometimes the parents answered the questions, like, oh, it's an elephant, this kind of thing. Like, again, the grand rules, right? It's better to be, yes. Be assertive, I think, even more so that you have
to be certain in your skills. You have to just, as you said, be assertive and definitely make some ground rules from the start. Absolutely. And in fact,
right from the minute that they send you a request, or they've made an instant booking with you, just tell them about your approach as well. It's really important right from the beginning. Be transparent, be assertive, and that way you will win them over, because in the end their child will learn, you know. So that's
and
the
be
best way.
prepared. Be prepared for compromise, because I also had problems with some children, and problems with some parents. But you need to stay for a longer time with them in order to meet their family. So you don't know what is happening behind the screen, and sometimes even if you want to quit teaching this child, you will find out that this child loves you, but this child actually had some very serious stress in their life, and it actually happens. So try to communicate with the parent. If you notice that something is happening, ask the parent what is happening. The child doesn't look very well. So don't pick a fight with parents. That's my point. They're also very under a lot of stress, just like you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think there was a slide earlier where you shared a lot of resources, and you also shared some in the yes. So I think that's okay. I think from that our tutors can really make a really good start. You gave lots of ideas. We had a question in the Q&A. I don't know if you can see it. It was from Luis. Luis, if you're still with us.
Can you open it, please?
Yes, it says, do you recommend, or do you have a syllabus to follow? For example, I want to follow a vocabularies order to teach kids, like some modules in learning plans. Yes, because with the adults, Luis, you follow the CEFR framework, the syllabus. So is there like a curriculum or syllabus that you follow for kids?
You mean the framework for language proficiency? Yes, there is. You can if you can find books from Cambridge, starters, flyers, movers. They are also testing assessment books. So starters, flyers, movers from Cambridge are actually the same the books we use for testing children. So there are actually levels for children, not only for adults. Completely the same as SEFR, only for kids. But the thing is, there are a lot of good books and a lot of bad books. The best books that I've found so far are actually Our World from National Geographic. Their books are amazing. Their syllabus is amazing. And if you can find and buy it in a PDF, that would be amazing. But I know that it costs money, but they are very, very good, and I use them. Also, what you can do is go to a flea market. My mother-in-law actually buys me secondhand English books in a flea market. And you can buy them very cheaply. They're used, but you can clean them a little bit, and you can use them in your class if you need a strict syllable. Another thing that I do is ask the parent to take a picture of the book, even scan it with their phone. So I actually have the exact book the kids are using. So if you want to follow a syllabus and the kids are in school, don't start with the new syllabus. It's better to join and use the syllabus they have in their school.
At school. So find that from the school.
Yes.
Samantha, I wanted you to repeat the name of the book with like the syllabus where you said it was
Our World, National Geographic. It's really amazing. Well, I think it's Cengage Learning is the publisher. Cengage Learning. And also English World from Pearson is amazing. English World Pearson. Yeah. I even have one of these here, English Adventure, which is actually English Adventure Longman, again Pearson. English
Adventure. I'll write it. English Adventure.
This is probably one of the best books because the characters in the books are Disney. This is a very rare book. So if you can find it in the PDF, I think your kids will love it. Because Disney, yes.
And sometimes you can find it secondhand. You know, we've all got apps where we can buy secondhand books. And I always look at them before I buy in the shops.
Definitely.
You know. So,
and you know, it's better to have PDFs, definitely, because you're teaching online. That's
sure. And you may be able to share, you know, we've got this Facebook community in our tutors. If you still don't know about our community, please join it. I can't actually share the link with you right now because I'm on Facebook myself. I'm not too sure, but just search Preply official tutors community and you will find it. And on there, you can share each other's resources. That's a really good idea, okay, to do that. Definitely. So we've come to the end. We had one more question in the Q&A. I don't want to forget anyone, but and it was from Tamrin. You said, if you want the child to do a homework type activity, could you send it to the parents to print it for the child? for example, sending them a scavenger hunt for the kids to find items. Then during the lesson, you can talk about what they have found and where. Yes. So yeah, like a practical activity. That's a good idea. Yes.
Yes, scavenger hunts. And as I said, there are tons of practical homeworks ideas. For example, I even had students record videos, record video tutorials, or if they're younger, they can definitely do a scavenger game on our escape room or something like that. You actually have an article about this on my website, and actually all of these links are from my website, because they are what I wanted to say, a conference reflection. So this is my presentation on a conference, and this is another one from Greece. So using drama and TPR, you have tons of games there, and using English through music, you have a detailed presentation on how to use music. In this one, you have a complete tutorial from top to bottom on teaching online, and you also have a list of 10 websites that I love using. Classroom rituals and podcasts would be a bonus. So if you have an older kids, you can even use podcasts for kids.
Yes, so, podcasts for kids. Karina is asking the name of your website.
I didn't put it. I'm sorry. I didn't want to advertise myself. I just put links. It's Alice in Methodology Land.
Oh,
yeah, like Alice in Wonderland, yes, but it's a little nerdy. So
could you copy and paste the link and put in the chat? Is that okay?
Yeah, sorry, I completely forgot. So just give me a little second. I have so many screens, so many tabs open.
Can you see it? Otherwise, I can type it.
Yes, I love the teachers like the username. Other people don't understand it, but I'm so happy when teachers like it.
It's great.
Means we understand each other, right?
It's excellent. Exactly. Well, listen, Alice, I think you've been amazing. Our tutors.
Thank you.
I love the webinar. I can see from all the comments and all these ideas and all this energy that you have. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if you can see the chat now in the webinar.
But looking at the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, we need another webinar with Alice. I will try to talk nice to her.
Yes, I'm so happy that you like it. And as I said, all the things that I'm sharing are actually not just from my experience. They're also from reading and studying a lot of research and pedagogy. So don't stop here. Even if you're just as tutors, you can get much better if you go and study and develop yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And if you are new to this, especially online and to kids, just a little bit at a time, pick one idea that you like the best from today that would be easy for you to use to adapt to your own style, and then go from that.
Definitely. Exactly. Every teacher is different, so start small, and you will learn with time. So you cannot learn everything in just one webinar. It takes a lot of time and experience. So don't pressure yourself. That's my point.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think it's time to go. Thank you so much, Alice. Thank you, tutors, for being such good children today.
Yes, you were amazing. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, lovely. I love that. Okay. All right. See you soon then. Bye-bye, Alice. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye.